If you're a man, you don't cry about it. You take life, the ups and downs. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. That's why this sport coat costs $800 and that costs $200. And I don't know what that costs, I'd be ashamed to wear it. That's why I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch.
Importing it, snorting it, any competition extorting it, anything I want affording it, got enough crack to get four to hit, turn a saint to a sinner, lose to a winner, whether old school or upbeat, getting my shit's the best, Rick's the best, have your heart beating right out your chest, that Ric Flair like, woo! That Ric Flair like, woo! This is all I do, I got that Ric Flair like, woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, that Ricky make a girl go, woo!
You've reached Goblin Ogre.
Welcome. And who's our guest today?
We got Brett Young on.
Brett Young.
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I here?
He was on before?
Yeah, no, it was true. It was one of the least watched episodes.
I believe so.
Yeah, I checked.
Well, that's
it's not your fault.
yeah.
Why am I on after Dimitri? What are you guys trying to tell me? I never did any of that shit. What the hell?
You are not technically on after Dimitri. We have one banked right now.
Oh,
so
okay, good.
you are.
Edit that out.
Yeah. Who did we have on?
Jared Nathan.
No. Oh yeah, that might come out there too. Yeah, there might be two banked. No. Who did we talk to? Like literally last week. Like not in the podcast world, but I literally can't fucking remember. And I'm sure, and I think we had a lot of fun. Charlie was on. Yeah. And Ian was on, and we made fun of Charlie a lot. Yeah.
But
we turned on.
Episodes.
Oh, Brovo.
Oh,
yeah.
Brovo.
Yeah. Now he's back down. He's like, you had me on after Brovo?
Yeah.
He has accusations too.
He lived long enough as the hero to become the villain.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love about Toronto Batman. Like,
Becoming more and more villainous
Yeah.
as his origin,
As time
as his story develops.
he's totally a Nolan style of Batman. His knees hurt. Like,
I know why, though.
like the Alfred, but it's a gay guy that he lives with, right? But like that guy that's looking after him's like, stop lying to yourself. You can't do this anymore.
Did you see the new Amazon Prime Batman show?
No.
The cartoon show.
No. I refuse to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they made a few changes,
Yes,
right?
I know.
But do you want me to tell? Like they went like, oh, this character.
No, I want you to run
like,
me through it.
Okay,
Yeah.
like Barbara Gordon is black now, I think.
Oh,
so is
okay.
Commissioner Gordon or whatever, right?
Does she get put in a wheelchair? Like, does Joker kick the door
only watched,
open
like,
and
2 episodes.
blast her into her fucking place?
I only watched 2 episodes. I don't know if they oracle her. But the change that bothered me the most is they made Alfred the butler fat. I don't know why. I can't figure out why they went, let's make the butler a fucking fat piece of shit.
Who would hire a fat butler? Like, you get your fucking meals.
It makes no sense.
Like, later.
I'm thinking of every rendition of Alfred.
And with bites in them.
I was about to
It's
say.
like, no, I'm going back to the 40s. He was never fucking
He was
fat.
never-
He like, what?
Fat Alfred is bothering me so much. Like I was watching it and I was like Penguin. There was so much more that I'm sure guys online are like, oh, this is bullshit. They made Barbara Gordon black and Penguin is a woman. You know, and all that stuff. And sure, if you're like one of the anti-woke guys online, have at it, enjoy it. The one that's bothering me is Fat Alfred. I don't know why. It just made me sick.
What happens?
So
in
who's
this?
playing Penguin now? Steph Tolev?
But like when Alfred tells Batman to step back from the edge, this is a standard thing. This happens a lot. Like Alfred will anchor Batman.
Yeah.
He'll be like, Batman.
Well, now
Bruce, step back. And it'll be like, okay, surrogate dad. But like, why would Bruce listen now?
Well, they also don't really give the impression that he likes Fat Alfred that much.
Yeah, so like when Alfred's like, Bruce, step back, and he's like, you don't, to the fucking Hot Pockets, fuck you. Fuck you, Alfred. Like,
You know what doesn't make any sense about Batman, though, is based on the
Everything.
age that he's... Everything doesn't make sense.
whoa.
It's true. Fair enough. Come on. You've made a good point. But it's that... And maybe you can explain this to me. He's his parents are murdered, right? And he's orphaned, and he's just unofficially or vaguely given to Alfred, I guess. But he doesn't really have a parent. Like, I guess it's Alfred.
Alfred was the Wayne parents' butler.
Yeah,
And,
I know.
In some stories, they even have it where like Alfred will have like served with.
Is he served in the military?
Yeah, but
and
no, he'll have served with Mr. Wayne, Thomas Wayne. In some versions, they'll be like war buddies.
they're gay together.
Yeah, exactly. Like in World War I, they were like,
yeah.
You know, it was the trenches. It was good times. So, like,
That's what I'm gonna call when I go to fuck other guys. Now I'm gonna go, yo, you want to hit the trenches? You know what I mean? Come
but
on.
no, like, and
What'd you do this weekend? Well, the trenches.
Trenches, yeah.
they go back, but like in other versions, they're like, well, the Waynes were so busy with like philanthropy that they just didn't consider who would look after their kid.
But this is my problem. This is what I'm talking about.
So they deserve to die.
No, that's my problem. Legally, the government doesn't allow you to just be a child who's orphaned and not be in some sort of system or under a new guardian. So I assume it was Alfred. And it's also strange. It's also strange that Alfred takes on, let's assume the government says, okay, Alfred's going to be the guardian. He was probably godfather to Bruce or something, right?
Yep.
Alfred somehow, for some reason, decides to maintain the butler-master relationship from the age of like fucking 6 to 20. He still calls him Master Bruce and never is like, hey, I'm like your uncle. Like he's just like, I'm your butler. Don't worry when the government...
people cared about their jobs. If more people treated their jobs like Alfred, the planes wouldn't be falling out of the fucking sky. That's all I'm saying. That's like, or falling around the runway. Like, all I'm saying, like...
This brings up a good point I also want to bring up is I was excited for this, and maybe he's gonna be caught deer in the headlights and have nothing. But it's gonna be my new segment is let's see if Lee can turn anything into a conspiracy.
Okay.
The
Fat
recent
Albert?
plane. No, not Fat Albert. Fat Alfred.
Oh, Alfred.
Hey, Bruce. Hey, Master Bruce.
Is Cosby still alive or did he die? Like, I can't
know.
remember.
I hope he's
Cosby's alive.
Okay,
okay.
then have him do the voice of Fat Alfred. It'd be great.
That would be funny.
He served his time.
Cosby alive. Gene Hackman and his wife and his dog dead. Did you hear about that?
I did.
They're dead in their house. Theories?
Harriet the Spy. She's dead. Yeah.
She died too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trachtenberg. What was her name?
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
Titties McGee.
Yeah, she's fucking.
Hottie Boom Body from the Eurotrip
Did you
franchise.
see any recent photos of her?
No, did she look bad? Better or worse?
Hollywood hit her hard.
Yeah. So she's got to be like 40-ish or something like that. Probably older. 'Cause she's older than
39.
me.
She's 1 year older than me.
Yeah,
but like, think about how bad the casting couch was in the aughts. And
Yeah,
she
but-
was hammering it, right?
Oh. You think she was a victim?
Are they?
I know their choices,
are you
but
really
either
a
way.
victim when you get a TV show or a movie?
Still, are you saying she probably, did a little, what's it called, a little strange for a piece of change?
She was a one talent fucking, like, a clown shoe. And that's what it was.
You know what it partially was too? Her style of hot went a little out the window or whatever. Like she was I'm a pretty young white girl with big boobs. No ass, right?
Yeah.
Now I can't say she had no ass. I just don't remember a particularly nice
She didn't
ass.
really have big boobs either.
I remember because I remember the scene in Eurotrip where she was in a blue bikini. And that's when the one guy noticed that she was hot because he had been bullying her. But maybe she didn't.
Did you ever have a friend growing up, like a girl that eventually showed up in a bikini, and you were like, "Holy shit"?
Okay, so I'm trying to think. Growing up, no. Like there were girls that I thought were cute in elementary school, but I would lie to people and say I didn't. Like if she's listening now, Stacy, whose parents were from Mauritius. So it was an Asian girl from Mauritius. Yeah, you had it going on. You know, shout out if you're still around. I'm taken, but I'll cheat. With Stacy. Actually, there was a lot of girls in my elementary school that I pretended to not like. That I'm like, no, I wanted to stick it in them. You know, like that's a rude way to say it, but like even Sandrine Bombito from Congo, yeah, her too. Ooh. Yeah, she's dating my friend Matthew, but I didn't matter. I would be a bad friend to him and fuck his girl.
Adam was always super nice to fat chicks, like incredibly nice.
Is that why he's so nice to me?
Maybe. Like he's just waiting for you to become a hot chick.
Adam was trying to fuck
and
me.
you want to fuck him. No, like seriously, there's like 5 or 6 public school fatties that I would bully the shit out of that Adam was really nice to. He slept with them all. Like he's like, yeah, man. No, I learned. My dad told me a long time ago. Fatties can become unfat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And unfatties can become fat.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
So that was his thing. And then, like, he ran out of the fat girls from public school.
I'm trying to think, though, like a girl who I thought was... So the problem is I went to an all-boys Catholic school.
Hey, you don't know. Maybe someone's a girl now.
I think there's one. I do think there is one. I can't remember.
That sucks.
My friend, one of my best friends, has his finger on the pulse of all the current gays. Like, he just goes to me every couple of months. He's like, hey, you remember Jeff David or whatever the guy's name is? I'm like, yeah. It's gay now. That's like half our conversations now. He just goes, gay now.
He just investigates all these guys.
He investigates all the gays and lets me know who's gay now.
That's a good friend.
When I went to high school, there was 2 guys that were gay, and they were clearly gay. And it was like, I went to high school from 2000 to 2005. There was still OAC at that point. Like, so I did the victory lap thing. But anyways, like, there was 2 guys that were clearly gay, but they weren't allowed to be gay in my high school at small town, the aughts. They could have been openly gay, but the teacher would have been like, all right, fag, what's your answer? Like, it was a fun time to be alive. So
we had a gay kid named Kyle in my high school, and we'd always tease him. Like, we didn't know, he never came out officially, but you know, he's very feminine and all that stuff. On Halloween, I'm hanging out with a guy I haven't spoken to in years since high school. This guy, Jeff. And we didn't dress up for Halloween, but a lot of people did. And we're looking at the costumes, and from behind us, this like long blonde wig, tight clothes. And Jeff's just like, oh, fuck, man, who's that? Turns around, it's Kyle.
Okay, so the gay guys from my high school, both of them moved to Toronto and became openly gay.
Of course.
And like one...
they prefer successfully gay.
Yeah, successfully.
I'm just making that up. Okay. Doesn't that sound real? That sounds real.
One of them moved to Toronto with his high school girlfriend. Like they were there, and then it was about...
That's so sad.
They were arguing all the time for about a year. And
no, I like Dick more. No, I like Dick more.
You guys seen those Instagram posts like where like, hey, be good to your buddy in high school because you never know how things are going to turn out. And it's like a guy, like 2 dudes posing in high school. And then fast forward, one of them's a chick, and he's dating her.
That's fucking hilarious.
And the fucking messages on that, she was like, yeah, you guys are gay. It's like, no, we're not gay. They're still combating it so hard. Like, no, man, it's not gay anymore to like fuck a guy who dresses like a woman.
They've been pushing that storyline for so long. I've been rewatching 90s TV shows. And I am in the middle of the fucking giant tiger version of ER, fucking Chicago Hope. I'm watching Chicago Hope.
That's one of the Chicago shows, like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire.
Yeah. One of the Kelly shows.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it, and like the main tough character, Peter Berg, he's like tough hockey player, surgeon.
Yeah.
And he's dating this girl, and she's like, do you remember how we met and I said I was the sister of the guy you played Pee-wee hockey with? Well, I was actually the guy you played Pee-wee hockey with. And like... It's 1990.
I don't know why it's so important to them to try to convince us it's not gay. Like, just be gay.
But hold hold on.
You know
the
what I mean?
scene
It's
plays
fine.
out. It's 1996 that they're playing this to our parents.
Yeah,
and so it's written to that angle where the character's like, I want to beat the shit out of you right now, you fucking monster.
Yeah.
And then he goes and says it to another doctor. He's like, that fucking tranny lied to me and I had sex with it. And they're like, dude, that's not cool. Yeah. And the
So
doctor's
unprogressive.
like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't say that. And it's like, holy fuck, this is they've been pushing it a long
Yeah, rightfully
time.
so. They're
Yeah.
they're beautiful people.
Oh, yeah.
If I asked you right now, in top of your head, I go, if you were to find out in a guy from high school that you knew is a chick now, who? If I say, oh, who would have been a hot chick? Do you, in your head, did you just picture a guy? Like, guy from high school, he's a hot chick now. Who'd you just picture? Do you have an idea?
Kyle.
I knew this one guy that had horrendous fucking.
Shout out to Kayla, by the way. Kayla, hot Kayla now.
One of my buddies had terrible like pimple scars all over his face,
Okay.
and it'd be awesome if he was a hot chick now, and like
It's an ugly duckling situation.
like. Shout out to you, CJ. I hope you're a hot chick now.
I think I'm being.
He just blossomed into a crater-faced swan.
But I just like, because he's a hideous man.
Yeah.
And like,
To imagine a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
out
that'd
of
be
that,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is very specific. Is one. I think Asians make the best, changeovers. Right. So, I think they just have the nice frame to make it. I think Asian men are beautiful people. I'm just slightly attracted to them.
Didn't Bruce Lee's parents say that he was a girl when
he?
was little?
Did they?
Yeah, well,
Bruce Lee, you heard it here first. Bruce Lee, hermaphrodite.
a lot of shit gets mixed up in the lore, but like some people say that like Bruce Lee's dad believed in a family curse that killed. Like that's the narrative they run with in that Bruce Lee the Legend movie. That his
and that's why Brandon Ruth died.
Yeah, that his
Why am I saying
dad
Brandon
believed
Ruth? That's
that
Superman. Brandon Lee.
Yeah. So his dad believed that there was like an evil spirit haunting the family that killed the firstborn son.
It's called dating white women. I get you.
So apparently,
How do you think those entities get introduced into your life?
That's the cause of all Lee's night terrors. Is all the white gringa bitches that he's been dating.
Dude, my dreams have been becoming more severely disturbing. But it's funny. I don't
We will
wake
get
up
back to this.
Dude, I don't wake up scared.
Yeah.
I just wake up like, that was weird. And I can just grab a girl and cuddle her, go right back to the
are
nightmare.
they like your real life, but it goes to total shit?
I can't
Is
recall
that the dream?
one of the last dreams I had.
Yeah.
I walked into a shower, and then suddenly now I guess I'm in the shower. I'm showering, and I turn around like I don't want to do this, and I'm about to walk out, and some dude tries to come in the shower with me, and I push him back.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, hey man, like it was Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves?
I was gonna ask if you have a celebrity dream. That's your celebrity
Keanu
dream.
Reeves, and I pushed him out of the shower. I was just like, hey man, I'm in here, and then he turned around and laughed. I'm like, oh my god, that was Keanu Reeves. I should have watched his back.
When Brett got excited, I thought he was going to say, I had that same dream. What night? That we all
My
find out.
celebrity.
We all had a
I've
Keanu
had
Reeves
this dream for over a decade.
Dream. Keanu Reeves is secretly Freddy.
My celebrity dream crush is Eddie Murphy. I've had this
You having gay sex with Eddie
recurring
Murphy?
Eddie Murphy dream for 15, maybe 18 years. So it's me and Eddie Murphy, and
It's
we're
young Eddie.
driving on the 401.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, zombies are everywhere. And Eddie Murphy's like, I bet you're not happy to be with me, Eddie Murphy. Because there's now... And like, the dream plays out that because I'm hanging out with Eddie Murphy and having so much fun, the zombie apocalypse has now happened. Like, I'm being punished
Right.
for having a good time with Eddie Murphy. So it always ends with Eddie Murphy and I in an overpass of the 401, like tucked in the corner.
Yeah.
As the zombies are running to eat us, and then I wake up in a cold sweat screaming, Adam, I had the Eddie Murphy dream. And
Next time, if you can remember this, ask Eddie Murphy what time it is in the dream. There's like this weird thing that apparently
You can't ask time?
You can't ask the time in the dream because then
that's in
something
an
is going to come.
episode of Batman the Animated Series.
But it's
to play
apparently
it
it's a
back.
real thing. Like that if you ask
who's that
what
dream
time is it
villain?
in the dream.
Yeah, the dream episode, and he's reading the paper backwards.
It's almost like if you ask what time it is in a dream in that world, it
It's
could
too real.
It could destroy it because they don't operate on time. They say like when you ask someone like what time is it in a dream, something comes and like removes you. So next time I see Keanu, I'm gonna say, hey, what time is it? Time to get your dick sucked.
Well, what if he's like, it's cock time? You have to be like, no, really, what time? Like
1, 2, Neo's coming in you.
Now, what age of Keanu Reeves is it?
He had long hair. So I'm guessing it was
John Wick. That's John
it was
Wick.
before probably John Wick. Actually, John Wick. Yeah, you're right.
Picturing
It was
John Wick, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I was just like, is it like a young, really young?
It was a young, good-looking Keanu Reeves.
But is it like
And I resisted.
speed Keanu Reeves with the short
Shape-
hair?
no, he had long-
Like the gel in the short
No, he had the
hair?
long. It
No,
wasn't
okay.
speed Keanu. No.
That was the best looking.
Oh,
That's
that would've been
disappointing.
so cute.
You look back at Speed Keanu Reeves. He's a good-looking guy. Yeah. After he just looks like a guy now.
When
he's
he
not,
shoots
he's not
Bill
ugly.
Pullman, that's fun.
If I was having that dream, I'd probably hope it was Pedro Pascal. I've been looking at him lately. Like he's a cute guy.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
No,
something about him.
I feel like social media is like forcing you to
Yeah.
think that.
that's
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
the same.
He's a funny-looking dude. He looks like somebody I'd be related to.
Yeah,
You know what I
He
mean?
looks
we know
like
how you
an
feel
uncle
about.
that would molest
So you
a
do like
soccer
it.
team. Like, I don't like it one bit. I don't like it
Those are
one
my
bit.
favorites.
No, like a brown van, and it has like that circle window near the back. That's what he looks like. No, it scares me.
I think in that same night, I went back to sleep and had another dream.
Yeah.
This is how I know I'm a good guy now for my girlfriend. In my dream, some girl tried to kiss me. I was sitting next to my girlfriend,
Yeah.
And I turned my face, and she kissed me just right here. I'm like, I have a girlfriend. So even in my dream, I'm all like, hey, man. Which was, and I woke up, I'm like, damn, I could have fucked that chick. Right in front of my girl.
That could be your
I'm just kidding,
takeaway.
baby.
That you're or it's only Dreamly would turn down some sniz.
Well, my girlfriend tells me that there's a Dream Lee that's an asshole to her in her dreams. It's a complete jerk, abandons her. He said, yeah, in her last dream, she goes, you ditched me to go hang out with some bald dude and his family at a water park
Charlie
in winter.
Paradise? That's a family? What?
I'm a dick, apparently, in her dreams. I'm a
dreams.
jerk.
And in your dreams, you're such a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy in my
Turning
dreams.
down
In hers,
Snatch.
she's
and-
just like, oh,
Yeah.
he's trying to fucking abandon me and whatever. But no, I mean, it's like we wake up and,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, and very quickly, I know what you're going to ask. Do I think Gene Hackman and his wife and dog,
Yeah.
like, is there a conspiracy behind it? Yes, there is. They were killed along with Tretchenberg, whatever her name
Michelle
is,
Trachtenberg. Yeah.
because they're going to release the Epstein list.
They don't have the. Okay, I will say
Gene
this.
Hackman is a
Maybe
made
Gene
man in
Hackman-
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
Gene
was
Hackman.
in that
And
movie.
Trachtenberg was
She
a
was
victim.
a victim.
Yes.
She's a victim.
Yeah, Gene Hackman was going to enemy of the state, just work and
Yeah.
release the Epstein.
Here's what it
case.
was. And I
They're
can
releasing
see,
that list, by the way. Like,
Yeah, it's today.
Today, right?
Today.
Yeah,
I can see the SVU episode. I'm picturing in my head then Michelle Trachtenberg was one of Gene Hackman's like victims on the Epstein Island. But he's like he was just like he got into it but like realized it was wrong. He did it anyway. He was actually probably the nicest guy she had to deal with. She contacts him all these years later because she's going through her own abuse issues, whatever. And she's like, Gene, you could tear this whole thing down. You were always the best guy, or whatever.
You're always
Gene-
so gentle. Yeah.
You're so gentle. And then Gene Hackman is going to release it. kills all three of them and Michelle Trachtenberg because she contacted him.
True.
That's what I figured out.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because I think what's going to be released, no one's going to be that surprised about.
Yeah.
But now that we have that list, what are we going to do with it? Because Matt Groening is going to be on that list. The guy from The Simpsons.
You think so?
No, he's
Groening,
confirmed on
yeah.
that plane.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And they elaborated. The so-called victim said, "Well, yeah, I saw him on the plane, and I just gave him a foot rub." So for him, he got a massage. In his feet.
I truly believe this. I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, you're taking care of the fucking evils or whatever." I do think the Epstein thing is going to be a spectrum of like, there's people who are like, "Fuck, I don't know. I took a plane ride. There was like hot girls, but I've been in Hollywood. I've seen that around. You know, I got a foot rub. That was it." And those are going to be a smokescreen for like somewhere in there is I'm going to pick a celebrity at random, Pedro Pascal, not allegedly. He's like the real, evil doer or whatever. So there's going to be like a smokescreen of other celebrities, and they're going to make us focus on like fucking Ja Rule or something like that. But it's not going to be him.
Yeah. And it's funny to think that, like, when you were a little kid, have you ever had any sexual desires towards, like, a woman or whatever that you saw and didn't really know what that was, but you could recall, like feeling, like, that feeling of, like, lust or whatever?
I remember my first, like, feeling of, like, lust.
Yeah,
and stuff.
what
It was, and this will speak to Brett as a fellow comic book guy or whatever. It was Alicia Silverstone in Batman and Robin, where she played Batgirl. So I remember seeing her, and there was just a scene where like maybe her skirt was a little extra high. I don't remember it, but I just remember seeing like a little extra skin from her and having like, I want to fuck that thoughts. I didn't know what fucking was.
Speaking of Alex Rovodani, go on with Batgirl.
I remember seeing Batgirl, a little extra skin, and thinking, there's something there. There's a feeling there. And I didn't know what the feeling was, but it was there. So it starts a lot younger than you think.
Do you think that, like, if you had that feeling with a woman who's a little older than you and things happened, that later on you would be like, I was a victim? Or, like, would you...
We've been over this. You were molested by your two female friends.
I wasn't trying to get into that, but I'm asking you.
Oh.
Would you feel like eventually, like, you were victimized? Where you're like, man, when I was 12...
Go ahead.
My oldest
I have an
brother,
answer to that.
His babysitter was a girl, and because he was the oldest, we all got babysat by our older sibling. But my oldest one, he's like, my babysitter used to show me her tits and say, "Go to bed, and I'll show you my tits." And I'm like, well, that's fucking awesome. But at another time, he's like 7. And she's like 14, 15, and she's like, "Go to bed."
Man, what do you think
and
of that?
And I'll give you tits.
Is that fucking wrong?
So I've thought about this. I've thought about this a lot, mostly whilst masturbating, right? And
you were trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
you were breaking this down, writing notes,
politically,
going back to jacking off.
No, I've thought about this a lot. I've thought about it. I don't think in every situation, and again, we're talking older female, young guy, kid,
that's the thing,
male child. I don't think in every situation that does damage to the kid, because we do. It's like a weird, different mindset. Like, I think
my oldest brother is the least fucked up out of all of us. And that was his babysitter.
Yes.
So
it helped him.
Yeah. He's been married to his high school sweetheart. He's got like 5 kids. He's a millionaire. Like, he's doing great for himself. Yeah. And maybe it all started with getting molested when he was 7.
Like, you both have rich brothers, and you're both so poor.
Isn't it awesome?
My brother's just doing like okay. So I'm happy.
My brother's doing great, and he's like, don't buy my kids Christmas presents. Like, that's the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
most.
What they're doing. Yeah. He's like, I'm-
like that's the most charity. He'll be like, I'm not giving you anything for Christmas, but don't spend your poor money on my rich
That's so
children.
funny. That has to hurt your heart a little. If you're so poor that people say, "Don't give us any of your shit."
Yeah,
exactly. We don't need it. Yeah.
So here's my point. I'll be more. I'll summarize it quicker. The kid is not necessarily a victim in the sense that I don't know he always will have psychological damage, but the older woman is absolutely a pedophile.
Yeah.
And a creep. So is there something wrong with the situation?
Yes.
Yes. Even though I don't think it always necessarily means there's like far-reaching repercussions to that kid. Okay. But the woman, if you were talking to her, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why did you do that? Yeah.
Even a woman who's like 20, let's say 24, and she fucks a 16-year-old kid, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's
There's
weird.
something to explore right there. For me, like, I think I said it before, but I'm like, all my experience did for me was just go, oh yeah, girls, women,
They're creeps.
they ain't shit.
No.
Like that whole like, oh, only guys, I'd rather be in the woods with a beer, all that shit. Like, no, you guys are fucking vile as well.
Oh my
You
God.
guys hide it even a little bit better. So you guys suck.
Lee's confidence with women is 100% based on his
A big
molestation.
molest. If I wasn't molested,
If I wasn't molested,
I
I
would
would
have
think,
one girlfriend, married her, and I'd have kids right now, and not be involved in comedy at all.
women aren't shit, because they're also pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a power thing. I think
Doing
women
his
just
your
want to
mom's
know.
a pedophile thing right now. Have you seen that?
Oh, dude, I got sent a request by Nebin to
Yeah,
do the call your mom a fucking pedophile
yeah,
challenge.
Matt Baxter's trying to get people to call their mom and then call them a pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been able to contact my mom. I messaged
Oh, really?
her to call her. She just video that, but no,
She's busy talking to young men.
She's too busy molesting kids. Yeah, well,
Oh.
whatever. It's a funny idea.
Yeah, my
Senora-
mom hung up on me
Senora
last
Fernandez
time we
is a
were
wonderful
talking.
woman.
Yeah, because we were like, she's an old boomer, so like Donald Trump is the most evil thing on the planet.
Sure.
to
That's
her.
funny, isn't your nickname Boomer?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, I'm boomer. They're boomers.
Boomers. Yeah, okay. So
that's
she's an old
true.
boomer. Why did you stop talking?
He's Boomer
But,
Jr.
She's like, if Donald Trump ever became like president of Canada, if he took over Canada, I hope I'm not alive. I'd kill myself. And I'm like, wow, Mom. And like the ironic thing is, if we do become America, you'll be able to buy a gun.
Yeah.
And she's like, fucking, like, hung the phone up. And it's like, well, you want to kill yourself if he becomes
She
president.
didn't hang up. All Brett heard was a gunshot.
Fucking A, I'm in the will. I could use some cash. My dad can't, he doesn't do any of the financing. I could talk him into controlling everything. My life would get so much easier. Sorry, Mom, but you really want to help.
And why aren't you talking to your mom?
I haven't been able to reach her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're trying to.
Well, yeah,
Do you think
I've
you
sent her a
made
couple
her
of
mad?
messages. I don't know what's going on with her. She kind of like, for the last week or so, has been kind of MIA.
Have you messaged your brother to be like, hey, have you talked to...
Yeah,
No. No, not yet. Not yet. What? I've been enjoying my life.
I thought because he's just going to see your messages and be like, oh, he's asking for money
my
again.
mom did send me something recently on Facebook.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to contact her there. I said, hey, what's up? Nothing yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's some family turmoil going on that I'm not aware of. I'm always the last person in the family to
know
know
of the
about
turmoil?
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like dealing with drama in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I get dramatic with somebody, it gets, it could get a little out of hand. So I keep it with my girlfriends. You know what I mean?
I do all my yelling domestically.
Yeah. But I'm not abusive. I just don't like feeling like I'm being abused. That's all. Like, so I'll just voice shit.
No, yeah. You ever? I've had situations where like you have like siblings who are like my siblings have been mad at my parents before, and it always feels weird because they'll be like, oh, fucking, they don't, my siblings don't swear a lot, but they're like, oh, this, mom and dad when they're doing this or whatever. And you're always like, you get what they mean, but you're not mad. So you're just like,
absolutely. I had to tell my sister, like, because she was the one that was complaining the most about like things that had happened in the past. I'm like, and she's like, and they never admit it. They never say that it happened. They would say, oh, you imagine that, you know what I mean? And I go like, well, at some point, quickly check that. Like at some point, we hang out, and all you ever do is tell the same story. You always, complain about the same things. So one day I just like, you have to stop that, man. You have to learn to let it go. These are old people now. You have to sort of kind of take into consideration what they were up against at that time. They were new to Canada. They left their family. They had a lot of pressure on, especially dad. Mom was losing her mind because of dad. Maybe just let off it. So she became a little bit more, you're probably right. I hate repeating these fucking stories all the time. So fine, I'm gonna relax on that. I'm not happy, but I'm gonna relax. My brother, who was like the biggest defender of my folks for a long time.
Is he the eldest?
The eldest, yeah. Apparently, according to my sister, like a little while ago, we had a conversation. She's like, well, now he's starting to get mad at them because he's a dad, and he
realized like
he saw like what he did to bring his daughter
bricks
success.
at your children's heads.
Yeah. So now apparently he got a little bit more like
resentful.
After I guess when Layla got successful. He's
Yeah.
like, well, why didn't you encourage or push any of your kids like that?
That's so funny. Now picture your dad is like, I could have been a tennis star. Yes. Look what's in my jeans.
But like they're old and like, hey, what happened.
Yeah,
you guys weren't terribly mistreated.
It's like there's
my parents are fantastic grandparents. They're so good at being and like they kick ass. And I kind of hate my nieces and nephews for the love that they get. Like I'm just like my dad plays Lego with them. My dad threw out all my toys on my 13th birthday and was like, you're a fucking man now. Be a fucking man. Get a job. And I'm like, we're not Jewish. I can wait till I'm 15.
I think it's all forgivable. I think you have to kind of let go of shit that's happened.
If it's
I mean, what's unforgivable?
Okay, let's go. There's some parents who molest their kids. That's unforgivable, probably.
None of that in my family.
That is like almost.
My dad barely hugged me, molest me. Fuck that.
Question: how about full on? And it sounds like none of us went through this, but full on abandonment. But they come around like 20 years later. Is that forgivable? I know people who have forgiven, and I know people who haven't forgiven.
I think it's fair to be upset at first, but if you're an adult, hear them out, and based on that, go from there. I mean, what are you going to really do? Even if you forgive them, does that mean you're going to want a relationship with them?
Yeah. Well, that's what it means.
It doesn't have to mean that.
Do you let them back in? Do you? Your parents, they don't talk to you for 20 years because they were like doing their thing.
I think they make the effort. Like you. You choose if you receive it, but they have to make the effort, and then you kind of go along with it. I think. Until you can't, or it does fix the relationship. But I mean, people fuck up. You know what I mean? Like I fucked up. Like you know what I mean? Like I've made mistakes, but I don't regret them to this day. I just go, it did shift my life around in ways that probably weren't necessary. I dug my own hole deeper and deeper and deeper, and I'm just trying to get out of it. So I go like, it's you have to take account. You have to take account for the mistakes you've made and go, whether I'm forgiven or not, damn it, I forgive myself.
You know what's funny? Is when you said, you like giggled and said, I fucked up, right? There was something so innately honest and pure about that moment of like, I'm a piece of shit. And you guys have no idea to the extent. So just trust me when I say I fucked up so I don't judge people.
So who the fuck am I to not forgive somebody who kind of like slighted me a little bit. You know, forgiveness is a beautiful thing.
The parents is a weird thing. A lot of people like they hang on to their parents, like, you know, when they feel fucked up by their parents, they have it hard to let it go. I was thinking of like what he was saying about his parents being like great grandparents and feeling like that, like what the fuck? I didn't get any of this. I'm more habit of like I had two grandmothers in my life. One of them, she was like not grandmotherly for most of my life because she had my dad young or whatever. So she was like probably considered to like, compared to you guys, I probably had a young grandma. But yeah, so she wasn't grandmotherly, not really particularly like affectionate, like, you know, whatever. But then when she got old, she was more grandmotherly. And then all my younger cousins got this like loving relationship, so they talk about my grandma like in a way of like, oh yeah, we feel so bad because she's getting old and stuff. They're like, oh, and grandma's so sweet and stuff, and I'm like, in my head I'm like, grandma's not sweet.
Yeah.
Grandma was an asshole. I love her because there's that familial relationship, but she was not sweet to me ever.
I mean, it's kind of like when, you know, like bookers in the city or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's some we hate and there's some we love.
Yeah.
But some of the ones we love, others hate. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of like how they treat you. That's all you know. That's your only experience with them. Like, I don't know, that guy was kind of cool. I don't know, he put me on. He gave me 20 bucks. It was pretty cool. That guy's a fucking asshole. He stole my jokes. And like, I didn't know any of that, but he's nice to me. You know what I mean? We could only react to how we experience it. Because you're a fucking asshole. Somebody says, I hate that guy. He was a jerk to me. You know what? I hate him too. He was a jerk to you. He's a jerk to me too now. It's like, no, fucking come up with your own.
Yes.
So you got, like, you were talking about being abandoned. Were you ever abandoned? Like,
No.
drive you out?
Great parents, right?
Okay.
Obviously, sometimes my siblings disagree, but just overall, I think compared to like what other people deal with in the
You're the
world,
youngest?
great parents. What?
You're the youngest?
I'm 3 out of 4.
Okay.
So I'm the second youngest, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm 3 out of 4 too.
Yeah. But no, it was more. I had a weird grandparent situation that like so it's nothing. I don't think a
I
grandparent.
got abandoned a couple times, but my older brother would put me on the back of like a 4-wheeler or a 3-wheeler, like whatever, and he'd drive like an hour away from the house and then just drop me off and then leave. And like, yeah,
That's fucked up.
yeah, numerous times he fucking did this to me. Like I was a rabid dog or something. And like, it was the 90s. It was a small town. Always an old couple was like, why is that child?
Why is there a baby
Yeah,
in a
like,
field?
I'd get home and he'd get grounded and shit like that. But like to this day, whenever someone's driving me somewhere, I'm like,
Where are you taking me?
yeah, like, I get really worked up.
I had a couple of buddies in high school. I was suspended during this period when it happened, but apparently in high school, a couple of my buddies would kidnap. Well, this is grade 12. They would kidnap grade 9, like Niners, grade 9 guys on lunch. Like they had a van. And they would see like Niners going to Wendy's or whatever, and they'd open the van door, like drag them in, drive like 4 blocks away, and drop them off. I was so mad I missed that.
I was so mad. I was
could've
suspended
kidnapped
for
kids.
other bad things I did that I missed
I was
more
suspended
bad
again.
things.
Yeah.
We did that one time. We grabbed up some grade 9s and we told them we were taking them to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they were so excited.
Yeah.
We took them to McDonald's. We ordered like 100 double cheeseburgers. Got them. We get the bags. And we just piece out of the McDonald's, and the grade 9s are left. Like, we haven't paid at all. We're just gone. And they're like,
They got to pay for
"Well,
it.
what do you do? What do you do?" And like the vice principal made an announcement and was like, "Stop taking grade 9s to McDonald's, buying as much as stuff, and leaving them there." It was great, man. That was back in the days when they had like the toonie deals or whatever. It was great.
I heard of this great prank. It wasn't at my school. It was my female friend's school because she went to like an all-girls Catholic school. And she told me the science teacher who ended up working at our school after, so I know the guy, he took two of the girls out for lunch and fucked them.
Really?
Yeah, it was a great prank.
Get it?
That was the rumor. I can tell. I'll tell you his name after. Not that it matters, but we had heard that we were in an all boys school, and people would be like, "Oh, that science teacher, didn't you hear what he did or whatever?" But it was just like guys' rumor or whatever in your school. And then that girl, she was actually we were close friends for a bit, and I don't know. We're talking about the old high school days. She's like, "What school did you go to?" And I'm like, and she's like, "Oh, isn't that where so and so got switched to?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I used to hear this rumor about him." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that was girls in my grade. That happened. There's no like if, ands, or buts." He
What fucking balls do you have? Or, like
During
balls and
lunch.
stupidity.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you're a guy like a science teacher that fucks students, as if these people aren't gonna fucking spread that rumor out.
Adam's parents ran a taekwondo school for years and years
no.
and years. And
You're gonna reveal something about Adam's parents?
No. Well, one of the guys they had working
Oh,
for
the
him,
teachers, the
senseis.
senseis.
One of the senseis
Don't say boys.
Was fucking students, and Adam's
That's a
dad
bad idea.
No,
beat the shit out of like it was like
that's a terrible.
really?
You can
Yeah,
imagine-
They had a dojo fight
Yeah,
over
yeah.
pedophilia.
because it's so prominent in Taekwondo. Like it's so prominent. Like it happens so. And Glenn,
I missed that part of Fist of Fury.
Yeah, and his family was so excited. They were like, we finally have a school where this shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like Adam's parents are awesome. They're just fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And, like he's not. If anyone's not gonna fuck their students, it was Glenn. He's a great guy. And then he friggin' hires this dude and he taints his dojo. And he was
By touching taints.
wasn't pissed off about the fucking of the kids. He was like, now I can no longer promote it as an unfucked kid school.
You know that numbering system on factories? How many days without molesting kids?
Yeah.
And it said like 480. Adam's
He
poor
was
dad
so
had to take the
pissed.
numbers down and put 1 day
Yeah.
no molesting kids. And then other parents are showing up to sign up their kids, and they see the big one.
Yeah.
Here's your white belt. It's covered in cum.
Oh my
But what
god!
a bad thing to do.
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
terrible.
molesting Taekwondo martial artists who are eventually going to grow up to be like killers.
Well, they teach them how to kill.
Yeah.
Training your victim. That's the dumbest idea
How to
ever.
kill you later.
And it's like, I can do this, but if anyone else does this to you, you go, yeah.
That's what you do. You flip them.
First, I'm going to teach you how to suck my dick. Second, I'm going to teach you the death touch. This will work out well for me.
The dim cock.
Yeah. So were they kids or they were teenage girls?
Teenage girls.
Teenage girls.
Yeah, but
that's-
when they
I'm not saying that
started-
makes it better. I'm just
Like, the guy worked and, like, he knew the girls for, like, 4 or 5 years before it started. Like,
Yeah.
it was full on, oh, that's a cute 12-year-old. Oh, she's 18 now. Like,
Yeah. So he was the new word. He was grooming.
Yeah.
He's grooming kids. Yeah. That's man, that's fucked. There's so many of them. As per the Epstein list that's about to come out. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
On voting day. We see
What's
Doug
her
Ford on the
name?
list.
The girl that ran Trudeau's cabinet. She's trying to be prime minister now.
Friedland.
I think that-
Chris Jeffrey.
finance person.
I hope
Yeah, she's
she's
finance.
on the list. That'd be awesome.
That'd be so
I think
good.
it's more likely that Trudeau's on the list, I think. But yeah.
Now, like with Stephen Hawkins maybe being there, like, would you be mad if he had like monster truck tires on his wheelchair and he was just like zooming around the island,
running over children.
So
I can't even imagine the insanity that's gone on that night. When fucking Hawkins let his freak out.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that looked like.
I
Kind of jealous I missed that
So
party.
that's one thing I'll say is that we don't know if he was Epstein or whatever, but the known fact was that apparently he's cheated on his wife a lot.
yeah.
Like he was having like fucking women rub his dick, like he was into it, you know?
Yeah, doesn't he have uncontrolled boners? but he can still get boners.
We all do. What the fuck does that mean?
There's people that are paralyzed that still
mine.
get
Starts to happen, I say stop. Stop.
Stop.
No,
because you get a boner from like
That's your cousin.
That's your prima.
but you get a boner from blood going there, right? Like, so there's paralyzed people, full-on quadriplegics that still get boners, but they don't know they have boners, and that's all I was want. Like, does he know about his boner? Like,
Maybe his dick is so big he sees it. So
like-
it's like one of the things he sees.
the
there's cop situation
the
outside.
circumference of my cock is amazing. Like,
You know how I know?
My cock is hardening. Please come sit on it.
You know
and
how
I
I know?
tried to research it. I couldn't find anything. I wanted to know how Stephen Hawking's dick worked.
You know
No one. Like, they say the internet's amazing. If the internet's amazing, I should know how Stephen Hawking.
I assume even when you're
I'll be back in a second.
Oh yeah. When you're paralyzed or whatever, you still have blood flow in your body. So I assume that's how the dick is.
That's how it still happens, right? Like, so, but they don't know it, like, at all.
Right. Oh, you're saying that even if he has the blood flow and he has a boner,
Yeah.
someone doing something to it technically shouldn't have any feeling.
Well, no, apparently they can still ejaculate, but they just don't know. It, like, automatically does it.
Oh, so yeah, I get it. He's having an orgasm without, I don't know, like the physical manifestation of like, besides the cum, obviously, but like.
But all he would get from it is looking down and going, ha, there's cum there.
You know what? I can understand why that would be. Like, there's still a part of me. Of course, I enjoy the orgasm part the most.
Yeah.
But still, there is something to be like, I came, you know?
Yeah.
So he probably still gets a gratification from that,
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like, you ever see in, like, some vampire movies or shows or whatever, vampires eat? Mm-hmm. And the argument, I remember this being in the Blade TV series starring Sticky Fingers.
Oh, so canceled way before its time.
Way before its time. It was great.
Ted Turner's worst mistake ever.
Oh my God, Blade was in a gang and turned them all. Fucking great writing.
So good.
But
that was actually taken from the comics.
Was it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I've read most
Not
Blade
the
comics.
original run,
Yeah.
but it was before the TV show. They did do that, like, Blade, because he was, like, he's, like, a child for, like, 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I've read a lot of Blade comics.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in that show, vampires eat, but not because it gives them any type of sustenance.
But it gives them
just
pleasure?
pleasure. Things taste good and stuff. So I assume Stephen Hawking's, sure, he doesn't have the fucking I just came in this prostitute feeling, but he does, it's just the idea that you're still fucking, that maybe that's what he holds on to.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that is awesome fucking Power Wheels fucking... Like, how else could he go to the island unless you put monster truck tires on? Like, it's sand. He's not going to get around on the... Like,
like floating tires.
Yeah.
That's how he got to the island.
I hope they have like LED lights in them and shit. Like
A boombox.
Yeah, like whenever he talks, the lights vibrate. Like, you are hearing me, and it's like vibrating green and blue, and like, oh, that'd be awesome.
He has a I just came button.
Yeah,
he presses it on. There's dun 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 dun. You wanna? It's up to you.
You want to
It's up
hop
to
in
you.
here?
We prepped you. Oh, but I gotta change those cameras to catch you. How about we introduce it?
Brent?
Well, I can't really go anywhere without Adam, right? Like, he's the one that everyone likes and tolerates me.
Adam, welcome. Have a seat.
Yeah. Adam and I have been roommates since 2009. Yeah, we've lived together for 16 years now.
Holy
shit.
Yeah.
And we were childhood next door, across the street neighbors.
What an interesting relationship.
Yeah.
I don't fucking...
More like siblings.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah. To this
take baths
day,
together.
like, you gotta admit though, when like you call your mom, she has that little bit of hope that you're gonna go, Mom, I'm finally gay now. And it's like, oh, about time. Like,
say it would be easier.
yeah, my parents, I'm like, no, what I am is far, far darker.
Yeah.
Like, I give him the Troy McClure.
So what do you think sustained this friendship for so long?
Good question. I didn't even fucking realize you had a mustache. Oh, shit.
I know, it's pretty sweet, right?
Sorry, it is. All right, answer the question now. Holy shit.
We're like just kind of like the opposites, right? Like he's forward and fucking. You guys know.
Yeah,
him,
are you gonna get into singing? You say potato,
Yeah.
I say potato.
and I'm laid back.
I say the N word.
Well, you're younger. I was saying you were younger. You are younger now. Yeah.
2 years younger.
So do you remember a time where you used to look up to Brett? And then also, second question, do you remember the year where you stopped looking up to him? He has an answer. He does.
Oh, I know he has an answer.
It was 1999. It was about to be Y2K, and I just realized my friend's not as cool, even though I love him, because he keeps talking about Y2K.
We're children of the 90s.
Yes.
man.
Yeah,
It was a big
26
event.
years
all right?
later, I'm still talking about Y2K. It would have been so much sweeter if Y2K happened. Like,
You know what? There has to be a theory out there that Y2K did happen, and
now
it just
we're
not in the
just
way
in-
that we thought it would happen. Like something happened in the year 2000 to computers, and it exists now. I feel like if I look it up later, there's got to be some Y2K conspiracy theory. Lee?
I think when 2000 happened and Y2K didn't kill all the electronics and everybody else, we had a sense of just everything is safe. Everything's okay. And that did something to us. That made us like accelerate our debauchery and our and our shittiness by 15 to 20 years.
that's my theory about Y2K too. I think they. No, I think
I just
they,
made it up.
It was what's that word? False
Very
flag?
good.
Yeah,
it's just a logical theory.
I think it was the first time they were like, let's rile up the public so much over something that won't happen at all, and sell products to it. And they were like, holy shit, that worked. And we've been living in that world ever since.
I like this.
That's what I think the conspiracy is. Like, because I remember going to the grocery store and it said Y2K toilet paper. And you could get 8 more rolls of toilet paper because it was Y2K toilet paper. Like, instead of a 12-pack, it was a 20-pack.
Yeah, they fucking branded that
Yeah,
shit.
they branded it. And like
totally
they didn't
did. Totally
do it
did.
to Mad Cow. Like, you couldn't get burgers that were Mad Cow free. And like they didn't do that. McDonald's took a hit. Like, I'm telling you, Y2K, there was a King of the Hill episode. There was a Simpson episode.
So there's money to be
was
made.
Mad TV. It was on late night TV shows. Like, that's the first time the government was like, let's totally make something up. Totally make it up.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like COVID.
Yeah.
Exactly, brother.
But like the Cuban Missile Crisis, even that I think is kind of bullshit. It's like, oh, they would have fired one missile and then hundreds of missiles would have wiped out the USSR.
I'm obsessed with big moments in history that weren't actually moments.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the Cold War.
Yep.
Not an actual war, but we love talking about it.
Like when Tyson bit off Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, it never
That was a
happened.
long
I watched that live. I watched
Me
that
too.
live. Yeah.
I laughed when he was hopping around.
The first fight, and like Holyfield's like, I think that motherfucker just bit me.
Holyfield kept fucking low blowing
Oh,
Tyson.
Yeah, that's why.
Exactly.
You
don't do that to a gangster.
He was-
He was out of
don't do that to
prison.
a
You
guy.
don't headbutt a man that just came out of prison.
silly.
All right, we got to end. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hey, key fork.
Don't worry, we're ending. Don't worry.
We're finishing it up.
Yeah. Well, no, we'll let
goodbyes.
Adam talk about one thing because we did talk about
Oh,
something
yeah.
that relates to you before you got here. He told a story where basically your dad ran his own dojo of some sort, and
Yes.
one of the senseis that came along.
It was the original Epstein Island.
The original had inappropriate relationships, and your dad fucking dojo handled him and fucked him up.
Well, it's not quite that bad. It's just it's way too prevalent in the martial arts community.
really?
Yeah, it's
There's
like,
a lot of
it happens more often than you would think.
And I was explaining to them how your dad was more pissed that he couldn't promote his place as not being that anymore. That was
exactly.
such a seller to his place.
Exactly.
I'm not
My dad
gonna-
was just a short, fat white guy with a mustache.
Although I'm not gonna lie, if I went to a dojo with my teenage girl and your first words are, "Hey, and by the way, we will not fuck your daughter."
He might fuck my daughter.
I mean, if I go to a dojo and every time I bow, I have a cock in my mouth, I'm not going back.
All right. Well, we should end with the announcement that Keys Comedy Club is returning to. He just went upstairs.
Yeah,
he-
returning to Rivals.
Rival Sports Pub. So support Keys Comedy Club. Support Rivals.
It's so super sweet. Let's all do our Keys voice right now. What's your Keys voice?
Thanks for listening, player.
He does a perfect.
Sweet.
We're gonna end all our episodes. From
Yeah.
now. We have You've Reached Goblin Ogre, and then now.
Hey, thanks for watching, player.
Super sweet.
All right. Thank you, Adam and Brett, for being on the podcast. We got to get out of here because a comedy show is about to start.
Thanks, boys.